Hi, Karina here, your Lucid Living coach. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I am a healing arts astrologer, and I'm here to give you the full moon and Aquarius report. I just put out the video that I didn't get too much into the full moon in Aquarius. I talked a lot about the bar boats basket. And so I wanted to get into a little bit of the full moon Aquarius report and finish with a card reading. I'm going to also read from the inside degrees and also some announcements. So stick around for the end. So when is this full moon? The full moon is happening July 29th at 7:35 a.m. And that's Pacific Coast time, okay? Now, this full moon has a lot of outer planet influences, not only from the basket that I talked about in my last video, and if you haven't watched it, I will create the link at the end of this video, is the moon is conjunct Pluto, and the sun is conjunct Jupiter. And this has a trine, this full moon has a trine to Uranus and Gemini, and also a sextile to Neptune in Aries, and a sesqui quadrant to Mars, which is an inner planet. Mars is in Gemini, and also a sesqui quadrant to the feminine energy of Venus in Virgo. So I'm going to get right into it. But there is truth coming to light, and you can't unsee it once you see it. We are in the new world. We are all awakening to new versions of ourselves, new versions of our relationships, our partnerships in romance and in business and in friendships and our relationships with our family. So this full moon is bringing major realizations. Something is beginning to become, sorry, I have a Mimi here, illuminated, exposed, and completed, or emotionally released at this time. Now, Aquarius energy helps us step back far enough to see the bigger picture, very much like Sagittarius. And with Pluto sitting right next to the moon, what we see may completely transform the way we understand ourselves. So our relationships and the direction that we're moving in. So this full moon can bring truth to the surface. It can reveal what has been happening beneath the surface as well. And it can show us where we have been giving our power away, where we have been afraid to stand apart from the crowd, or where we have outgrown a group or relationship, identity, or a future vision. Now, this powerful energy, but it may also feel intense. We have the moon conjunct over to Pluto, and Pluto's in Aquarius, and it's opposing the sun and Jupiter in Leo. So we have this moon, Pluto, trine Uranus in Gemini, and then we have this moon is also making challenging sesqui quadrants to both Venus and Mars, which is the masculine and feminine. And Mars is squaring one another, creating tension between what we want and what we value and how we're choosing to act. Mimi said hi. We also have the South Node in Leo, trining over to Chiron in Taurus, while Neptune in Aries is forming a beautiful fire trine to the Sun, Jupiter, and Leo. So there is a lot happening here. It was probably jargon if you're not into astrology, but I'm going to break that down for you. So the full moon is asking us to find the balance between being true to ourselves and still participating in the greater community. That's Leo and Aquarius polarity. It is asking us to lead from the heart, Leo, without needing constant applause, validation, or attention, which is a healthier balance of Leo, Aquarius energy. It is showing us how our individual gifts can contribute to something bigger than ourselves. So, what does this full moon in Aquarius mean? A full moon happens when the sun and the moon are sitting directly across from one another. And the sun represents our conscious awareness, our life force, where the energy is in our chart, our identity, and the direction that we're actively moving towards. And the moon represents our emotional needs, our instincts, our unconscious patterns, and the feelings that we may not always be able to explain. So during a full moon, something reaches a point of culmination. Feelings become harder to ignore. Information can be revealed because it's illuminating it. It's a full moon. We may reach a turning point, make a decision, or realize that something can no longer continue in the same way. Now, Aquarius is the sign of the visionary, the rebel, the outsider, and the inventor. Now, Aquarius rules community, friendships, social networks, technology, humanitarian movements and efforts, the future, our future plans. You could even find like engagements in this because that's a part of the future plans, depending on where it is. But it wants us to think differently. It wants us to break away from the outdated systems and imagine that what is possible when we are no longer following rules simply because those rules have always existed. Because that's the old world that's dismantling. And that is still in the process, but it is dismantled. We see clear now. And Aquarius needs freedom. So this full moon may reveal where we need more space to be ourselves. It may show us where we have been trying too hard to fit into an environment that no longer reflects who we are becoming. We may realize that we've changed like a lot within a very short amount of time, but that change has been, a progress that we've been going through since 2018. Our values have changed. Your vision for the future has changed. The people you feel connected to may be changing as well. So there may be a sense that you can no longer shrink yourself to remain comfortable inside a group, friendship, organization, or relationship. So at the same time, Aquarius can sometimes become emotionally detached, and we may internalize our feelings rather than allowing ourselves to experience them, and that's so Aquarius. We may tell ourselves that we are fine because we understand what is happening mentally, while our body and emotional systems are telling a completely different story. So this full moon is asking us to observe our emotions without abandoning them. And we can step back and gain perspective without disconnecting from the Leo hearts. So with the moon conjunct Pluto in Aquarius, the moon sitting beside Pluto makes this full moon deeply emotional, psychological, transformative, intense. Pluto is associated with intensity. It's the god of the underworld. It's where Anana is. Like, it is obsession, possessiveness. Like, it's all these things. And Pluto brings buried material to the surface. So it could be our emotions. It could be like how we're like in like feeling the world around us. This can include hidden fears, control issues, jealousy, resentment, grief, obsession, attachment, and the need to protect ourselves from feeling vulnerable, because that's just too hard for Plutonian type people like Scorpio. Something that has been pushed down may become impossible to ignore. You may suddenly understand why a situation has affected you so deeply. You may realize an emotional pattern that has been influencing your decisions without your conscious awareness. Pluto can reveal where we have been attached to a certain outcome. It can reveal where we're trying to control another person, where someone may be trying to control us, or where fear has been controlling our choices instead of just like letting go and letting God. Because this conjunction is happening in Aquarius, some of these revelations may involve friendships, communities, social media, group dynamics, your sense of belonging to the community or group. You may recognize that you have been staying connected to certain people because you are afraid of being alone. You may see that the group you once identified with no longer reflects your values. You may uncover manipulation or power imbalances within friendships, organizations, and communities. You may also experience a powerful awakening regarding the future that you're creating. So Pluto removes what is no longer sustainable. It may feel uncomfortable while it's happening, but it creates space for something more authentic to emerge. And this full moon is reminding us that transformation is not always about becoming someone new. Sometimes it's about removing the layers that have been covering up who we truly are. And that's Leo. It's Leo season. It's time to be unapologetically you. And the sun conjunct Jupiter just makes that a little bigger, because Jupiter is the luckiest planet of the zodiac, and it is the planet of Sagittarius, the explorer. So Leos are going to be traveling. Leos are going to be like just wanting freedom and autonomy. So across from this moon Pluto is the sun, Jupiter, and Leo. So this is big, bold, and expressive energy. Like Jupiter expands whatever it touches. So sitting close to the sun and Leo, it can just increase the confidence, creativity, optimism, courage, and the desire to be recognized. And this can be a beautiful moment for remembering your gifts. You may feel inspired to share your art, your voice, your message, and your talents more openly. And we may feel ready to take up more space. You may recognize that you have been hiding a part of yourself because you were afraid of how others would respond. But if that is the case, it's time for those people to go. Find your feather, because the like of the feather flock together. And Leo asks us to lead with our heart. And it reminds us that joy matters. Our creativity matters. Our self-expression matters. Leo says there is more available to you. There may be an opportunity to grow, teach, perform, create, or step into that larger role. But because the sun and Jupiter is opposing Pluto and the moon, we also need to be aware of exaggeration, pride, or the desire to prove ourselves or need validation and applause. We do not need that. That is not a part of this full moon. So if you're feeling that, that's something that needs to be worked through. Chiron just entered into Taurus, and Taurus is all about our value and what we bring to the world and what we contribute, and our like how we like provide for ourselves. It's the things that bring us comfort and joy. And it's trining the South Node in Leo, and it's sextiling over to the North Node in Aquarius. So this is, I mean, there's a difference between expressing yourself because it brings you joy and performing because you need that approval. So the difference between leadership and control, and then there's a difference between confidence and believing that your needs are more important than everyone else's. So we're looking for a balance, like create because you want to create, because it makes you feel good, sharing your light with the world, but also not. Aquarius, the Aquarius moon is asking the Leo sun, how does your individual light contribute to the collective? The Leo sun is asking the Aquarius moon, can you participate in the collective without losing your individuality? So we need both. We need people who are brave enough to shine, and we need people who understand that their gifts are connected to something larger. So with this Leo Aquarius opposition, it highlights the balance between the individual and the group. Leo says, this is who I am. Aquarius says, this is where we're going together. Leo wants to be seen as special. Aquarius reminds us that everyone has something unique to contribute. Leo rules the personal creativity and self-expression, while Aquarius rules collective progress and social change. You may be asking yourself, do I feel free to be myself around the people in my life? Am I sharing my gifts? Am I waiting for permission? Have I been changing myself to fit into the group? Am I contributing to my community in the way that feels meaningful to me? Am I leading from my heart, or am I reacting from my ego? So there may be tension between what you personally want and what a group, family, community, friendships, family expect from you. That's the old way. Okay, that's the old world. The new world, the answer is not always to choose one and reject the other. The invitation is to find a way to remain authentic while also considering how your decisions may affect the people around you. Now, the moon and Pluto trining over to Uranus and Gemini can bring the breakthrough. Uranus is the planet of awakening, disruption, freedom, sudden change. And in Gemini, Uranus is changing the way that we communicate and learn and exchange information and understand the world around us. The trine can reveal information very quickly because that's what air is. Air, flight boss. I love that guy. A conversation may change everything. So you may hear something that confirms what you've already been sensing, okay? A truth that may suddenly like click into place, and you may see a situation from an entirely different perspective because this is a flowing trine. The change may happen more easily than expected. You may feel emotionally ready to release something that once felt impossible to let go of. New ideas can come through rapidly during this full moon. So my advice, write them down. Pay attention to the unexpected conversations, dreams, intuitive messages, and sudden realizations. Because Uranus and Gemini encourages us to question the story that we have been telling ourselves. Is that story still true? Did you form that belief years ago during a completely different chapter of your life? Are you continuing to make choices based on an outdated version of yourself? So this full moon can help us update our mental programming. It can help us say what we have been afraid to say. It can also bring important developments involving like AI, technology, media, education, transportation, social communication. So maybe a new app's coming out. But collectively, we may see shocking information, new discoveries, or events that rapidly change public conversation. Now, the most important thing is to remain flexible. Okay, you do not need to have everything figured out immediately. Allow new information to reshape your understanding. And the Sesqui quadrant from the moon to Mars, it creates irritation and emotional pressure. It's a challenging aspect that often creates internal friction. Something feels uncomfortable enough that it demands adjustment. So look at where that is. The moon is in Aquarius, and moon is in Aquarius, and Mars is in Gemini. See where the air sign houses are for you to kind of give you an idea. Now the Mars in Gemini can bring up mental restlessness, argumentative, reactive, anxiety, overstimulation mentally, like we could just be thinking too much, which then causes anxiety, thinking about the future. But words may come up quickly. That's Gemini. Gemini is the energy of communication. So people may interrupt one another, become defensive, or feel the need to prove that they are right. So with the moon conjunct Pluto, emotions are already intense. Like Mars and Gemini can turn that emotion intensely into sharp words, impulsive texts, arguments, or mental overwhelm. So be careful about speaking from like a place of like peak emotional reactions. The feeling may be real, but the delivery still matters. So take a moment before responding when in a heated situation. Ask yourself whether you're communicating to create an understanding or communicating to release your frustrations onto someone else. Now, Mars and Gemini can also scatter our energy. So we may feel pulled in several directions at once. Our minds may be moving faster than our bodies can process. So you really want to be careful not to hurt yourself. This is also a good time to reduce unnecessary stimulation, like stepping away from the phone, limit doom scrolling, give yourself quiet time, meditate, move your body so the nervous system energy has somewhere to go, like go to the gym, go on a walk, meditative walk. Do something physical. Journal before having a conversation. If something is bothering you, write it down. Journal it. Sometimes that's not the issue. Sometimes it's something else. We are allowed to speak our truth, but we will be much more effective when we're grounded, so we can actually make forward progress. Now, the moon and Venus are also in that same Sesqui quadrant, and this can bring emotional discomfort within our relationships or self-worth and our finances, because Venus rules all those things. And in Virgo wants to improve things, so it can be overly critical or nagging in certain ways, and it notices what could be done better. So it expresses love through helping, fixing, organizing, being useful. Useful, not youthful. But in its shadow, Venus and Virgo can become overly critical. You may focus so heavily on like what's wrong that we overlook what's working. So we can just focus on what needs to be fixed, what we don't like, what the imperfections are in our relationships, in our jobs, in our homes, and in a lot of things. So we may expect perfection even from ourselves and from the people around us and the people that we love. So it can cause a lot of tension or arguments. So this full moon may reveal where criticism has replaced connection. Are you consistently analyzing your relationships? Are you trying to fix someone who did not ask to be fixed? Are you withholding love until someone behaves exactly the way that you think that they should? Are you being so hard on yourself that you cannot recognize your own progress? Now, the Aquarius moon needs emotional space, while the Venus in Virgo wants practical evidence that something is working. So you may be torn between needing freedom and wanting reassurance. You may care deeply about someone while also recognizing that the current relationship dynamic needs to change. Small issues may feel larger under this full moon because Pluto intensifies our emotions and our emotional responses. So before making anything into a major problem, ask yourself whether the situation requires a complete ending or simply an honest adjustment. Now, the Mars in Gemini is square to Venus in Virgo, and this square is asking for adjustment in some way. So the masculine, feminine, and it adds the tension between desire and action. So Venus shows what we value, what we are attracted to, and how we connect. And then Mars shows how we pursue what we want and how we assert ourselves and how we handle conflict. So Venus in Virgo wants consistency and consideration, effort, and attention to detail. Gemini is not like that. Gemini wants movement, stimulation, conversation, and variety. So one person might want to slow down and work through the details while the other wants to keep moving. So one person may want a practical solution while the other wants to talk through every possibility. This aspect can create sexual chemistry, though, and attraction and excitement, but it can also create frustration. You may desire something and question it at the same time. I literally hate when my mind, body, and spirit are not in alignment. You may want closeness and space, but want commitment, but also fear losing your freedom. And this is not necessarily a sign that something's wrong. It may simply reveal where two different needs require negotiation. So just maybe being more attentive on like expressing your boundaries with certain things. So pay attention to mixed signals, maybe passive aggressive communication, and criticizing people instead of like clearly stating what you need. Do not assume someone should automatically know what you want. Ask directly. Listen directly and carefully. Like make room for your differences, because that's all opposition. Now, the South Node in Leo trining Chiron newly in Taurus offers an opportunity to heal the old wounds connected to self-worth and validation, security, creativity, and visibility. So the South Node represents the familiar patterns, like the past experience and behaviors that we're ready to release. And Leo, this can involve an old need to be chosen, praised, recognized, or admired. It may connect to the fear that we're not special enough, talented enough, or important enough. And Chiron in Taurus brings healing around worthiness, money, safety, the body, and our connection to the physical world. So this trine could help us recognize that our value is not determined by how much attention we receive. We do not have to perform for love. We do not have to prove that you deserve rest, pleasure, stability, and support. You do not have to compete with everyone around you to know that your gifts matter. Something from the past may return. We just had Mercury retrograde, so that we can respond differently. So we may receive recognition you once desperately wanted, and realize that you no longer need it in the same way, and it just came back around to show you. You may finally let go of an identity that was created to earn approval, and this is the chance to rebuild confidence from the deeper place. So instead of asking, do they see my worth? Ask, am I living as though I know my worth? Now, Neptune in Aries is trining over to the Sun in Leo and Jupiter in Leo. And this trine brings inspiration and faith, imagination, and spiritual purpose. So Aries and Leo are both fire signs. So this isn't like a passive energy. This is an inspired action. Like Neptune and Aries asks us to act on the dream. We have a dream. The Sun, Jupiter, and Leo gives us the confidence to believe that the dream is possible. And you may feel inspired to create something, launch something, share your message, and take the leap of faith. You may reconnect with a vision that you had temporarily abandoned. Your intuition may feel stronger. Creative ideas may flow more easily, and you may receive confirmation that you are moving in the right direction. This can be a beautiful energy for artists like myself, teachers like myself, healers like myself, spiritual leaders like myself, performers like myself, and everyone who uses creativity to inspire others. But we do need discernment. Neptune can idolize, Jupiter can exaggerate, and the Sun in Leo can become very confident in its own vision. So make sure that your inspiration is supported by reality. We really want those big dreams to ground into reality. So stay grounded, believe in what you're creating, but remain open to feedback from the universe. So follow your intuition, but do not ignore obvious information because it doesn't fit the story that you want to believe. So we don't want to live in La La Land. That's very Neptunian. It's like Disneyland. It's like, oh my God, I can't wait to go to Disneyland. It's going to be so fun. The rides and the princesses and the characters. And then you see a character with his head off behind the scenes smoking a cigarette. And then you have these long lines that takes you 2 hours to get on the ride. And then you go up to get something to drink and it's $30 for one drink. Okay, so that's the reality of things. And then you have the Neptunian fantasy of things. So at this highest expression, this trine helps us to lead with compassion, imagination, and courage. And it asks us to believe in ourselves enough to take meaningful action. So this full moon may be bringing clarity around wherever Aquarius is in your chart at 6 degrees, but this is about the community, friendships, relationships, and our future direction. We may recognize where you no longer belong. You may recognize that a dream that you once had no longer excites you. You may see where you have been performing for approval instead of creating from the heart. You may uncover a power struggle or emotional pattern that has not been that's been operating underneath the surface where you couldn't be aware of it, and now it's so you're aware of it. You may become aware of how much your ego or the fear of rejection has influenced your choices. You may also receive a major breakthrough. A new idea may arrive, a conversation may free you. You may finally understand what needs to change. And this full moon is helping you see where you have outgrown your old identity. And it's showing us that we cannot create a new future while remaining emotionally attached to every part of our past. Relationships may feel intense during this full moon. And the moon Pluto can uncover that jealousy, abandonment, and fear and control and hidden resentments. And then the Mars and Venus are creating friction, making it difficult to ignore the differences in needing in like our needs and communication style and expectations. So some relationships may require more freedom, others may require more honesty, and you may recognize that you love someone but cannot continue participating in the same dynamic. You may need to establish boundaries without completely closing your heart. And you may need to stop analyzing every detail and have a direct conversation. Try not to force immediate resolution. So give yourself and other people time to process. The goal is not to win the argument. The goal is to understand what the conflict is revealing. Always seek to understand than to be understood, especially if you're in a relationship with your opposite sign. So as far as like career, creativity, and purpose, this can be a powerful, creative, and professional opportunity time. You may feel ready to be seen. You may receive recognition. It's 11:03. You may feel called to share your message with a larger audience. This is a beautiful time to reconnect with your creative gifts and ask whether your current work allows you to express who you really are. Now, the Aquarius moon may bring changes involving like organization, teams, online communities, or long-term goals. You may realize that you need to find different people to collaborate with. You may feel called to bring your unique talents into the larger community. The energy supports innovation. Try something new, use technology differently, share the ideas that feel a little unusual. The very thing that makes you different may be what allows you to contribute something important. So think about that. So how to best utilize all this energy is give yourself room to receive the truth before rushing to react. Pay attention to what's being revealed. Notice what triggers that you without immediately blaming yourself or someone else. Triggers can show us where there is still emotional material asking for attention. Hi, Mimi. So write down your sudden ideas or realizations. Have the honest conversation, but choose your words carefully. Release the need to receive validation from people who cannot understand the direction that you're moving in. And then look at your friendships and communities. Ask yourself whether your connections support your growth and or keep you attached to this outdated identity that you're moving out of. Like that's the old world avatar. This is your new world avatar. So we're creating something new. Move your body, spend time away from like screens and overstimulation. or just come to my paint and sip this Saturday, July 25th at 4 o'clock at Revival Coffee in Crockett, and have fun. Mimi, get down. Yeah, thanks, Miss Miyagi. Anyways, come join us this Saturday at Revival Coffee for the paint and sip. It will get you from behind the screens to being in your body, connecting with the community. If you want to meet new people, it's a great place to go. For this full moon, just allow yourself to imagine a bigger future, but identify one practical action that you can take forward. And be mindful of the emotional reactions. Don't confuse emotional detachment with like emotional maturity. Do not assume that everything uncomfortable that you're feeling means that you need to end something immediately. It's not a reactive time. It's a sit, wait, analyze, and see what's happening, because Mercury will be leaving shadow around August 7th, okay? So we're still in the I wonder area. So yeah, if you want to ask yourself, does this future still reflect who am I becoming? Or which parts of this vision are truly mine? What parts were created because I wanted approval of security? And then what communities do I want to be a part of? What are my individual gifts that can help serve the greater collective or my local community as a whole? So this full moon is opening our eyes. It's showing us what has changed within us and what we can no longer remain. It's asking us for emotional honesty. It's reminding us that we are capable of more. Uranus is bringing the breakthroughs. Venus and Mars is showing us where adjustments need to be made in our relationships, our desires, and our communication. The South Node in Chiron is helping us release the old wounds around validation and worthiness. Neptune is reconnecting us with the dream and reminding us that we must have the courage to act on what we believe, but we also need to be grounded in our dreams so they can become a reality. And the future is not something that simply happens to us. We participate in creating it. I challenge you to ask yourself, can you let go of the person that you needed to be in order to fit in or belong, so that you could become the person that you were always meant to be? So I'll leave you with that. I'm going to read the inside degrees. So the woman burning a book of black magic. Karma works by indirection. Okay, one sippy whippy. We draw to ourselves what we previously activated, and as it comes back, we curse the reflection. Some gestures multiply, they gather force and momentum. And soon we have fixed ideas about what is pulling us back and what is carrying us forward. Before you know it, you have become partisan, taking up this side against this other side, swept up in the drama. And you even become sure in your mind the whole segments of existence are bad and terrible and must be renounced completely. Yet you are making a self-commentary in where your mind has led you, and there must come to a point in the journey when the mind strips away its disguise and you know once again that all is of God, that all is towards the good, and nothing could ever harm you unless you insist upon it. Okay, that's the inside degrees. Let's go ahead and get into the cards. Super excited. I think we can start off with the tarot. Yeah, let's roll the dice. Okay. Ooh, I'm going to Formula tea. This is my summer solstice tea. It's so good. And I have it for sale for $10 for a bag. So good. All right, what we got? What's the focus? Neptune, third house, Aries. Okay, that's interesting. So Neptune is in Aries, but in someone's third house, which would be the Aquarius, rising Aquarius. All right, so this is highlighting our communications and how we're seeing the world, how we're navigating the world. What are we doing every day? What else do we have, Spirit? Okay, whoa, flew out. 8 of Pentacles. She's working hard. All right. We've got 8 of Pentacles. What else, Spirit? Anything else? Whoa. Whoa. 4 of Wands. Someone is getting over a broken heart. Someone is getting, you know, the relationship. And Queen of Wands. Those 3 actually all came out together. So the 8 of Pentacles, I'll go ahead and read the 8 of Pentacles. I dedicate myself to my craft. Encouragement, dedication, practice, and process. The 8 of Pentacles signals diligence and commitment to your craft. You've decided what is important enough to dedicate yourself to fully. Now you are deeply absorbed in the meticulous effort towards the mastery of your technique. If you put in the work, you will see the rewards. Let your process be your sanctuary. Every brush stroke among the way is for you to feel and explore. Okay, that's awesome. I love that. Now let's go to the Wands. The 4 of Wands is at home within myself. So enjoyment, commitment, happiness, and belonging. Spend some quality time at home. Visit your childhood home if that's accessible to you, or simply connect to the places that feel familiar and safe. And then the 3 of Swords. 3 of Swords. I know that's like, and it came out reverse, so I feel like this past situation is healing. Whatever it is, you're healing from it because of what you're putting into your mission. Like, we're in Leo season. It's about being in alignment with your inner child and like what makes you happy and what your gifts are to share with the world. Okay. And this is just feeling good. You know, this is feeling good at home in your own body. And then this reverse is the pain inflicted by many metaphorical swords, and at last the sensation is fading. So as your wounds start to mend, reflect on this relationship or whatever caused you pain is fading away now. And then the Queen of Wands. I express my bold colors, expression, authenticity, and passion. This is just like you're coming out of this bad situation, like emotionally, and you're filling your cup. You're filling your own cup. So speak up for something that you believe in, smile at a stranger, and share a secret. This is about being bold. All right, I have my My other deck, I'm going to see if there's anything that's coming out. Oh, okay, there's someone coming in. Oh, okay. Maybe it's all your hard work is finally paying off. We have the Seven of Pentacles, and we have the Six of Wands. So the Seven of Pentacles is, I move at a sustainable pace, so there is reward happening. So adjust your routines to be more streamlined and aligned with your energy levels throughout the day. You can approach difficult tasks when the energy levels are peaking and save easier ones for when you're tired. So this is about like all the work that you've been doing is paying off. You just continue working towards it because it's time. It's go time. Create whatever that you're creating and whatever you want to be in the new world. So you have to think back. We're in Leo season. When you were a kid, what was your heart's desire? What did you want to do? Like, I'm doing a lot of what I wanted to do when I was younger, but one was fashion design. I always wanted to be a fashion designer, and acting. And I've done theater. It's been a while, but when I get back from my trip, I think I'm going to start auditioning again. And then the Six of Wands has something coming in here. The Six of Wands. I know that I shine bright, acclaim, trumpet, accomplishment. So pretty much whatever kind of energy that you're putting into your craft now, the hard work, scheduling it in, doing it, there's your reward. You'll get your payoff. So mark each of your success when they happen. Throw a party. So if you said, hey, I'm going to do this, I'm going to record this video, then reinforce yourself. All right, let's get into the oracle cards. We're going to do Nature's Whisper, and then we're going to pull from the Akasha, the Twin Flame deck, and we'll see. So we have a portal gateway. It's opened up. That's right, it has. With the basket configuration in the sky, we have a portal that's opening up, and we're shifting our energy now. There's a big energetic shift for humanity, and that's happening right now. And we are being aligned with our future vision and our purpose, which is all Aquarius energy. We just have to get out of our own way, because whatever that we are believing is true and what we can accomplish, we will get. So wishes will come true. Our beliefs need to align with our wishes. So we can stand at the edge of the wishing well and we can throw the coins into the well with the hope that something will change in our life. Instead of wishing, we have the courage to dive into the wishing well, delve into the depths, and you will find the richness of your soul as you are immersed in the transformation. Okay, instead of just wishing, we need to take action. A belief is a thought that you think so many times over that you eventually hold it to be true. It is something that you have been practicing for a long time, and it always feels like the most familiar path to take. If your life is pleasing, stay with this. If your life is not pleasing, it's time to change your thoughts and then thus change your beliefs. So today, you may like to say to yourself, I am not limited by my past or future thinking. I choose my thoughts with care and mindfulness. I regularly have new insights and discover new ways of seeing my world. I am willing to change and grow. So that's what's happening right now. We are ready to change and grow into the people that we were meant to become in this lifetime. It is that time, you guys. We've already filled our life with not being aligned with our true authentic self and our purpose here, and we're all getting in alignment now. It's go time. We're being ushered into the new world. And Okay, we got the Injustice card. We'll see what else comes out. Okay. So Justice card would be Libra. Unjust card would be what? The opposite, Aries. We're overcoming fears here. This has come out a couple times now. Let's see. Let's see. Card number 24. Let's just check that out. The Injustice card indicates that you have committed to injustice or are the victim of one. On another level, it can also evoke a lack of judgment in tongue twister, the analysis of a situation. So maybe you've underrated what you can do. And this is fear of a toxic feeling that can often prevent you from taking action. So it paralyzes you, revealing your limitations and backing you into a corner. And we need to finally move those fears aside and stop underestimating ourselves and move forward. We need to get out of dependency as well. Dependency on others, looking for validation from others. That has come up multiple times in this reading. But there's definitely, things are going to be revealed. If someone's been shady, dishonest, that's going to be revealed. And you are going to make your passion your paycheck. This is the professional card. Okay. So those are looking pretty aligned with the astrology reading. And I'm going to go ahead and end it with the twin flame. And then I will give you an affirmation card. So what's up this full moon? It's the rebirth. Okay. Personal freedom. Unleashed. 7-7. I'm going to look at the green. 7-7. Green. Rebirth. The rebirth. Personal freedom. Well, olive, is that not olive? Okay. Slate. Rebirth? Aqua, red, olive, amber. Oh my God, are you serious? Is it under rebirth? Come on, this book. Oh, here it is. It's under aqua? It's aqua? Didn't that look like green to you? 49. Maybe they're colorblind. Whoever made this twin flame tarot deck. That looks green, not aqua to me. But maybe I'm colorblind. Who knows? So the rebirth phase of the ascension journey can be an extremely painful process as you are stripped of personal habits, core beliefs, and karmic patterns. This process is referred to as the shaman's death, the death of the old self. Just like the phoenix, you will rise up out of the ashes and step into the new identity, becoming the person that you are meant to be. Letting go of control will unleash personal freedom. Trust that your heart is leading you in the direction of your destiny. Be gentle with yourself. You're being reborn into someone new. Believe in your new discovered abilities and affirm that everything that you need to fly forward is inside of you. When the rebirth card shows up, it suggests that you use this painful period to help others. Doing so will assist you to get out of your own circumstances and awaken your inner flame. This will ignite your soul with passion, making your journey a beautiful experience as you see the gift in your painful quest of rebirth. So we are all giving birth to our new identity. And that makes sense to me with this new world that we're finally stepping into to build. We're building our new world. So what is life is only limited by your imagination and your bank account. Ha 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 ha. I love these. These are, it's called the Emergency Affirmation Deck. They're new and I love them. I pick one every day and it just kind of makes me chuckle and laugh. Okay, one more. Okay, so you want to see how funny they are, the other ones. Okay. This one's a green one. Today I am at such peace. It's almost like I'm not even alive. Oh my God. So dumb. Some of these are so dumb, but they're so funny. Anyways, thanks for liking, sharing, subscribing. I hope to see you this weekend, July 25th at the Leo season, aka my birthday paint and sip. We are painting a lion for this Leo season. Space is still available and space is limited, so get your ticket. You can Venmo at Lucid Living Coach. Also, please join us for the full moon in Aquarius, moon gathering at Messiah on Monday the 27th at 6:30. We will be there. Bring your journals, and that's donation based. And yeah, anything else I wanted to announce? Not at this moment. All right, peace out, your Lucid Living Coach, Karina.